Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin KQ4CIA with Blackbeard's Radio. Just wanted to do a kind of a grand opening for me, but definitely an unboxing from Giga Parts on a Yaesu FTDX-10. I obviously bought it recently, and it's sitting in a box waiting for me to open it. I figured we'd go through the original unpacking and unloading of the radio from not just Yaesu, but also let you see how Giga Parts does whenever they pack radios, because it's a box in a box, and there's a couple other items in there as well. So just thought I'd bring you along for the journey. Pardon my wiggly setup. I still don't have a camera, using an iPhone. Y'all are living this with me. I'll be honest, that's not how I thought the radio would be packaged. I figured it'd be in there different. Alright, that's the speaker. Yaesu SP30, the external speaker for the FTDX-10. We'll get into that in a second. A Heil FS3 foot switch. We'll get into that in a second. And last but least, and the thing I'm definitely the most excited about, the FTDX-10. Well, as you can see, she's mint in the box, as Jesse would have said. The one thing that I am kind of shocked about is there was zero shock protection on the bottom of the box, the box in the box. I figured there'd be a layer of bubble wrap under that too. But I trust that Giga Parts knows what they're doing. They've never messed up anything else from me, or for me, that was from them. Just have a pamphlet about it's a thank you and are you happy, and then the condition of the retail package and affects your warranty. You know, gotta read it. If you need help or anything's messed up or it's a warranty return because it's screwed up, it tells you what to do and who to call. So we'll keep that documentation. And for the time, we will keep the box that everything shipped in. I'm going to set you up on my desk. Sorry, I hope this camera view is okay for the moment. Kind of trying to work with everything in the moment. I kind of told myself when I started this ordeal that I wanted things to seem very authentic. And by seem authentic, I mean I want them to be authentic. I don't want it to seem like a high production event and, you know, thousands of dollars in radio equipment and all the money in the world for cameras and studio lighting and all that. This is my journey as I'm living it just like we talked about in the first video, you know, being newly licensed at the end of July and upgrading to a general ticket in the beginning of August, everything's pretty new to me. So, you know, if you want to, drop a like and get the bell on, subscribe. Let me know how long you've been licensed as a ham, and whether or not you're a technician, novice, general, advanced, or extra. Drop your call sign too. And if you're a member of any nets or clubs, man, maybe we'll reach out and we'll get together on a net sometime. All right, so the initial unboxing. Typical lid from Yaesu. Nothing out of the ordinary or shocking there. I'll turn it around. Unpacking procedures kind of tells you to open the lid, and open the lid. Again, I think we could have figured that part out on our own. And there it sits. Instruction manual with a mat, and of course your Yaesu sticker. Wires, hand mic, I assume that's your power connection, and maybe the side, the stand is in that as well. Doesn't appear as though there's anything else in the box other than the transceiver. If I remember correctly from everything I read, I think this transceiver weighs about 13 pounds. So definitely not the lightest thing on the market, but not the heaviest either. There it is. Still covered up in all the shiny plastic. Oh, the bottom stand's already on it. Pretty tactile. It's got a great feel. It clicks. It's solid. When I get more in depth on my POD activations and why I had to buy a new radio one day, you'll understand why the side stand being pretty rigid and pretty daggone important to me. Inside the bubble package, looks like we have a adapter, a hand mic clip, a spare 25 amp fuse, your hand mic, up down frequencies, your pre-programmed soft keys, and your push to talk function, connected with a Cat 6 cable. This one doesn't have a Cat 6 cable on this one. It's actually hardwired inside the casing of the microphone. It's the SSM75E. I'll probably use this initially whenever I'm setting things up, and then I'll switch over to my headset once I'm more comfortable with everything. And then we have what looks like our power cables with a pretty long jumper line. I really don't like twist ties. This is your connection to the radio. Standard 4-pole, 2 hots in, 2 negatives in. Retaining clip, as you can see here. It moves up and down. That helps hold it in place. And the daggone wiring for this is long. Very long. Look at that. That is a pile of solder dipped, isn't it? So this is, I'm going to say, an 8-foot power cable. So that'll let you get pretty far away, the radio pretty far away from your power supply. We can go over some of the few things that I do know about with the radio. I don't know a whole lot yet. No, pardon me if I pause talking for a little while. I will refer to the manual on the face of the radio. We have the power button. This is for an SD card. Everything I read says that the SD card needs to be one of those SFHD cards, I think, and any gigabytes is okay, but it does need to be a class 10. That's for your headphone jack. This is your mic connection, your Vox or Mox button, a tune button, power button, and then on the right side of the display we have pretty much the rest of the radio. The one common complaint about this radio over the last couple years has been big fingers from your course dial can accidentally hit some of these buttons around. And as you can tell, I don't have small hands or small fingers, but I was kind of worried about it. But even using my left hand, I'm right hand dominant. Even using my left hand, I don't really see that as an issue, I'll be honest. Plastic tear off. This will be a little bit of AMSR for people, I guess. Is that as clean as it needed to be? Let's see if I can do this one as successfully. All right, we can see stuff. So we have the function knob. This is the standard multifunction knob on Yaesu's. It presses in and out, and it also rotates clockwise and counterclockwise. Noise blanketer button, digital noise reduction. This is your AF and volume, otherwise known as like a squelch and volume. This is your notch and continuation. And this is your shift and width. I hadn't really gotten into CW yet, but from what I understand, your shift and width play a lot into CW. But not so much into other stuff. You know, if you start getting into your notch, you can set your width of your notch. With the 10, you can actually set how narrow or wide your notch is on the band for filtering. And that's supposed to be one of the things that sets this radio apart from the 710 and the 991A. When this is recorded, this radio is number 3 for receive audio in the Sherwood report. Pretty neat considering number 2 and number 1 are both over $3,500, and I got this one on sale through Giga Parts, obviously. And it was $1,500, I believe. But then we have some other ancillary buttons. OMB, your band select, your step, CS. Oh God, I can't even see this button. Your fine tune, your lock. Good Lord, I know I need that all the time. Your Zen or spot, your TWX and your mode, your split, M, your Vox or Mox, A or B bank, your clarifier, and clarifier receive and transmit. So that's pretty much it on the front. On the back, we have a bunch of crap going on. Your accessory, your ground, your antenna, obviously your RIDI and data. Your tuner cable goes here, and that way the radio itself can work with an external auto tuner. It's plug and play at that point. You just plug it in If your SWR is higher than a 3-to-1, which is what the internal tuner does, then your radio through the data port automatically tells the external antenna tuner to do its job, which is pretty neat. Your accessories, and then I really don't know what this serial port does. I have no clue yet. It's a 100 mil fan, which is the same fan size that they put on the 101. This little booger right here, that's your USB-A. That is your output for FT8, or your input line, excuse me, for FT8, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure what the REM button is. Obviously, a linear button, that would be in case you're running an amplifier. Your external speaker port, your CW key, pretty neat. They even give you a little symbol. And then your external display, which is a DVI port. Everybody's pretty sad that this radio and the newly released in 2022, the 710, still isn't using an HDMI. But there's 1,000,001 DVI cables to HDMI on the other end. So it's not a big deal. You just buy a different cable, and then now you can plug it into your TV or your monitor or whatever. It also has 2 USB outlets. And a lot of people use this, from what I've seen, for an external mouse and a keyboard. And that way, if they're doing FT8 or RIDI, they can kind of control all their stuff directly through the radio. It's all integrated. And if you're using an external monitor and you need to change settings and you have to go through the screen for it, you can use the keyboard and mouse to do so. So that's pretty neat. Well, that's about it for the unboxing of my new Yaesu FTDX-10. I hope y'all enjoyed this unboxing of the radio. I'm going to set this aside for the time. Don't really know where I'm putting it yet, but I'll get into the foot pedal. Gosh, I just set that radio on the floor. So, I have a Heil Pro Set 6 for my headset. I absolutely love it. I think the sound quality is phenomenal. I love the microphone. Right now I'm using a Yaesu 891 inside my shack and whenever I'm mobile or portable, and when I do POTA, and I have constant reports on how great I sound, and I fully attribute that to the headset. Because of that, I wanted to get a liking, same make and model there, foot switch. I currently have a cheap one off Amazon. It was only like $7 or $8. I don't know, it might have been 10 or 15, but it wasn't much. And it feels flimsy. The hinge on it isn't sturdy. The wires are like 22 gauge wire. So it's very thin, definitely going to break soon. So I wanted to upgrade to something a little bit better and a little more permanent. Got a nice thank you card inside this box. I really like how large this pedal is. Of course, they've got to include stickers for their branding. That's a neat box. It's, you know, this tray is kind of one set of corrugated there. That's nice. It feels sturdy even though it's without anything inside of it. Here's my gift cards. And that's all that's in the foot pedal box. All right, you can see this wire and the plug. It's a 3.5 mil plug. It's substantial. It's thick. The hinge pin on it has a standard E-clip here to retain the hinge from sliding out. The hinge pin feels very, it's nice. It moves, it's solid. It doesn't feel flimsy. but it's there. The bottom of the foot pedal has a little bit of rubber, helps it stay, I guess, on any surface. I can't imagine it's a big issue on carpet, but I have tile in my shack, so this will help out a lot. And then the top of it also has a little bit of rubber, and even though I'm a red guy by most of my coloring, this blue's a nice color. I don't mind it. So that's it for the foot pedal. Last but not least in that giant box of stuff is the Yaesu external speaker, the SP30. This is the speaker that pairs with the transceiver. I've never seen one of these in person. Don't know what I'm in for. Right on the top of the box is apparently a gold-plated external speaker cable. One end of it appears to be a standard headphone jack, and the other end looks like it's an RCA plug. I'll break that package open in a second. A couple different layers of corrugated board here. Installation sheet, and yeah, that's about it. Gives you the specifications on the audio range of the speaker. If any of y'all are big audiophiles, then that'll probably interest y'all more than me. I just want to know how to install it on the radio properly so I don't screw anything up, to be honest. Again, everything seems to be really nicely packaged from Yaesu and Giga Parts. I can't complain at all. I was shocked that there wasn't more bubble wrapping under, or not bubble wrap, but the pillow stuff underneath the radio box inside the large box. But I mean, they know what they're doing. Nothing appears to be damaged. So sure enough, the speaker itself has an RCA plug on the back. So gold plated, I guess, just will be fine there. It's got a kickstand on it. I didn't realize that. I just figured it bolted to the radio somehow. I guess that's why it comes with the instruction manual. Maybe it doesn't actually affix to the radio. Maybe you just kind of set it beside the radio. Kickstand. Same feeling as the other kickstand, feels great, no complaints. And the front of the speaker, there's a couple mods to this speaker. People are taking the front bezel off, and they're putting foam in to keep the speaker cone itself from vibrating as much. And they're just kind of wedging foam insulation around the speaker grill bezel. I obviously hadn't plugged this in and listened to it. I don't know if it needs it. I don't know. I doubt I'll do that. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't have a habit of breaking into brand new things to modify them. Not really what I'm known for. But again, it feels sturdy. You know, you can definitely tell that all the weight in this is up here, and this is pretty much my guess from about here back. It's all just dead weight in an empty box. Looking forward, it looks like the speaker housing is about here. Is where the support for the magnet on the rear of the speaker is. Internally, looks like it's about in line with the kickstand. And then inside the casing, I don't know if it's possible for it to focus in between those heat vents back there, but there's two wires coming from this speaker, from this RCA plug to the back, all the way down to the back of the speaker, and that's it in the rest of the case. So I don't know why it's so large, but they do. All right, guys. Well, that's the unboxing video as it sits. So I'm going to get this stuff kind of together and put on my desk. I'm going to get my 891 out of the way. It's still sitting right there. It's still on. Actually, it's on the Century Club net right now. But again, absolutely no complaints from this setup. This is going to become my 100% POTA setup, and any field activations for field day or whatnot, this will be the radio I take with the tuner. That's about it. There's my QSL card if any of y'all have ever hit me on the air. Kilo Quebec 4, Charlie India Alpha. This is the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. It's over the Cape Fear River. It's north of the Atlantic Ocean by about 8 miles, and that riverway actually goes all the way to the water. All the way to the ocean. So, but yeah, that's my QSL card. So maybe I'll hear you one day and y'all will get one with my chicken scratch on it. Guys, I appreciate it. Y'all are truly living this journey with me. I don't know anything about YouTube. I don't know anything about ham radios. It's something that interests me, and I'm just going for it. And I figured I'd document it because there's not a whole lot of people on YouTube that have started from the beginning with what they're doing and what their interest is. And I figured that if anybody can learn from any of my mistakes, because I've made some, and some of them have cost me money. So if anybody can learn from stuff that I've done, or see something that I'm doing and can tell me what to do better or how to work something better or whatever, leave a comment, leave a like, touch the bell. Doesn't cost you a dime. I'm just trying to get the algorithm going so more people in the ham community can see it and watch me walk my walk. But that's it, guys. And I hope every one of y'all have a fabulous day and that y'all are blessed beyond measure. Talk to you later. KQ4CIA with Blackbeard's radio. Talk to you later, guys.